When it comes to 100cc segment, or basically the commuter segment, there's only a few things that a customer needs. Now Honda thinks that there are three segments: standard, basic and stylish. So stylish is where the consumer would want a bit of style elements, and basic is where there are three parameters that are supposed to be checked in: frugality, reliability and durability. We are at the Ambi Valley City, 2 hours drive from Pune, to test the Honda Shine 100, this new bike. You're watching Park Plus, and as for the task at hand, let's get cracking. The new Shine 100 remains unchanged in dimensions, but is 15 kilograms lighter, tipping the scale at 99 kilos. It has a 9-liter tank, and overall it isn't much different to look at compared to the Shine 125. Well, if it ain't broke, why fix it, right? The only difference is the smaller capacity engine that sits in the diamond type frame setup. The Honda Shine 100 is offered in black body color with vibrant decal options offered in multiple colors. When it comes to the looks of the bike, Honda has done a decent job. The bike has already been there in the market, so they did not fiddle with the design element, and they have just transferred that to the 100cc segment. So let's take a closer look at how the bike looks from a close perspective. So here is the halogen headlamp, and just over it is the visor. It's actually a very small visor, so to say. And again, the indicators. There's a small mudguard and 17-inch alloy wheels. Again, with drum brake setup. So this is a 130mm drum brake, and at the end, at the rear end, we have a 110mm drum brake. So if you take a look at this, there is graphic elements, decals going on, and this is continued all the way to the back. So if you take a look at this, so there's this on the visor, again on the metallic tank. This is a 9-liter tank, and this is plastic. There's chrome accents as well, but again plastic. And the same thing continues to the tail end. Again, a sturdy grab rail, and again, so we have 168mm of ground clearance, and the seat height is again 786mm, which is basically accommodating to riders of all shapes and sizes. I am 5 feet 9 inches, and my feet are well planted when I sit on the bike. And again, this is a 677mm single piece long seat, and it's quite comfortable. And if you take a look at here, so if you just this is the sari guard and the twin shock absorbers, pillion's footrest. They are okay. Seem a little flimsy though. And again, the plastic guard over here. And right above, there's a simple analog cluster. These are your telltale lights, the fuel indicator, how much fuel you have left, and a trip indicator with a speed gauge. That comprises of how the bike looks. And from my perspective, I think it looks nice, it looks decent, and since we are going with the profile of formula of why to change it, if fix it if it's not broke. There is an ignition switch, but no engine kill switch. Press it and the bike comes alive with a gentle idle. The engine is very refined and sounds smooth. As the revs build up, there are no vibrations that creep into the handlebars or foot pegs. You can sense some vibrations when the bike is pushed to its limits, but if used gently, the bike holds its own. Let's start with the riding experience of the bike, and before we get to that, we can talk about some performance figures. The bike is a proper 100cc engine, which is basically, to be accurate, 98.98cc, coupled to a 4-speed gearbox which sits in a diamond frame setup. When it comes to acceleration, we have 2 short gears and then the larger 2 tall gears, the 3rd and 4th. The acceleration is very linear, and once it gets there, the bike holds itself comfortably at a speed of 30 to 50 kilometers, which is the sweet spot of the engine. And over that, you will have to struggle with the engine to, find the revs up. The maximum speed that I could hit was 80 kilometers per hour. But then again, this bike is not supposed to do that. It's basically from point A to point B with, the best frugality figures. When it comes to braking, it does a good job. The braking is also progressive, but I feel that there's a little bit of bite lacking at the front brake. That is me just nitpicking. Otherwise, it does a fine job of dropping the anchors. When it comes to suspension is rather very pliant. It does a good job of soaking up all the bumps and potholes when you are riding it. All the roads in the Ambi Valley city are quite paved, so I won't be able to comment accurately on the setup. I will be able to do that once we get the bike for a thorough road test in Delhi. Apart from that, that summarizes the entire riding experience of the Honda Shine 100cc.
Well, the bike is very easy to use and very nimble on the move. The seat height is welcoming for riders of all shapes and sizes. It has a strong bottom end, and that same torque band is carried to the middle of the rev range as well. Cutting through traffic is easy on the Honda Shine 100. There is a side stand engine cutoff feature as well for the safety of the rider. This segment has rivals like the Hero Splendor, Bajaj Platina and the TVS Radeon, to name a few. Honda is claiming the best-in-class fuel economy figures for the Honda Shine 100, and at 64,900 rupees ex-showroom, you get a 100cc single-cylinder engine with a 9-litre tank and a claimed 60 km per litre, which translates to an effective range of over 500 km. Now that, in my books, is a good buy.
Now that we have a fair idea of what the Honda Shine 100 has to offer, the question here is, should you buy the Honda Shine 100? My initial impressions of the bike is to say yes, because it's a no-nonsense bike. It's a basic 100cc. The Honda engine, very refined, and it does A to B with no nonsense. It's basics done to the T. But the real question here is that how good is the bike when it's fared against its rivals? Now that's a story for another day. My name is Sumesh. You're watching Park Plus. Please subscribe to the channel. Click on the bell icon to stay updated to all the videos that we do. Until that time, stay safe, wear your helmets and travel safe.